These are 7 mistakes that every beginner concert photographer makes. Number 1, paying for media passes. Do not spend money on media passes. There's really no need to. I've been shooting concerts for over a year now, and I haven't spent a dime on a concert. The people who try to charge you media are often like managers of small artists or like underground artists that think they're like super high up and have the biggest egos. But basically, you are literally already providing a free service of shooting the concert, which is more than enough. And honestly, the fact that they think it's okay to request you money, I think could be a little disrespectful. But don't even worry about that because there's always other ways in. I've literally been in a show where I got rejected by the manager because they wanted money and I just didn't respond, and I got into the venue or the PR team. There's always other ways in. So don't pay out of your own dignity, and also because you really don't have to. Number 2, shortcuts. Now, not every camera has shortcuts, but if you do, you gotta take advantage of them. Basically, what a shortcut does is it saves your ISO, aperture, shutter speed at a certain setting so you can flip to it in a flip of a switch. Shortcuts save you so much time all around, and it helps you stay very efficient. This also ties into number 3, which is don't waste time, and the 3-song rule. You finally got in the photo pit and you're feeling all happy and you're ready for the show, but suddenly you have to fix all your settings because you don't have shortcuts enabled. And boom, just like that, the 3-song rule is over. So what's the 3-song rule? Basically, the 3-song rule is a rule at usually every concert of a decently sized venue that says after the first 3 songs, you gotta leave the photo pit. And at first, this sounds like it's bad. It's like you only get 3 songs to shoot, that's not enough time. But that's why you have to stay efficient. You gotta plan out what you're doing. You gotta look at the clips of the show on YouTube, Instagram, etc. before you actually shoot it to plan out what you're gonna do. Now, the 3-song rule is actually very helpful. Because of the 3-song rule, it encourages you to actually get variety in your shots, to go around the venue from the balcony to the crowd, to get these different kinds of shots that you wouldn't have gotten if you just stayed in the photo pit. So use this to your advantage. Take every minute of your time in the photo pit and use it wisely. But once you're out of the photo pit, be sure to get the variety in your shots and actually go around the venue, explore. That's what sets you apart from the other photographers. You're all gonna have similar photos in the pit, but once you go around the venue, that's what changes your portfolio. Number 4, and this is kind of an obvious one, is having your ISO too high. As you could assume, concerts are really dark and it's really hard to use cameras in low light settings unless you have a Sony. So to fix this, every beginner concert photographer will crank up their ISO and not think about what could happen after. And as you probably know, having a higher ISO leaves your photos more grainy or just with a lot of noise. When I first started shooting concerts, I made this mistake a lot. I had my ISO too high and then I got home and realized all my photos were too grainy. This actually happened probably like 6 months ago. I shot a show on 5,000 ISO for like the whole thing because I wasn't thinking and everything was just too fast. And it was after like already almost a year after I started. So this could really happen to anyone. And then I got home and I realized what I did, and a lot of the photos were unusable. So it's really just unfortunate, but really try not to do this. For me, anything between 500 to 2000 ISO is pretty usable, and it's what I try to keep my ISO around during shows. Anything after that will just leave you to get home and be disappointed after seeing a SD card of grainy photos. Number 5 is comparison. Comparing yourself to others on social media is so easy to do in this field because you need social media to grow. So if you're not on social media, you're really not going to grow your page, unfortunately. But also on social media is where you start to lose yourself. And it's super true because there's been times when I started, and I still struggle with this sometimes, where you see someone you met at a concert or just someone in the space working with the artist that you dreamed of working with, or shooting for an artist that you want to really bad, or shooting at a festival. There's been so many times where I've seen this and I can't help but feel something inside where I feel bad about myself because I'm not there. But what I've learned is that obsessing over these things, over people who are farther than you now but started at the same point as you, destroys your passion for concert photography. And this goes with anything in general. It can destroy your passion. You have no idea what it looked like when they started and how they got there. They could have had more connections with you when they started. They could have just been grinding for like way longer than you. So focus on your own path because that's what matters most. Number 6 is shooting in autofocus. Now, yes, autofocus is great, and in most cases it's optimal, but there are some cases, usually faster paced shows like rap, rock, where manual focus is actually better, and I'll tell you why. To put it simply, the camera just gets confused with all the unpredictable lighting in autofocus, and doesn't know where to put that focus. It ends up exposing everything wrong, and you'll just be disappointed when you get home and look at the photos. There's been so many times where I thought I cooked with a photo, and then I got home and I realized the photo cooked me. It just happens, and that's why I started using manual focus more in those situations, because some artists are slower and do have more predictable lighting. But in those cases where you don't really know what's going on, I think it's better to switch to manual focus for a little bit and choose that focus on your own rather than just having your camera do it for you. So when the lighting's messy, flick on that manual focus. And number 7 is not applying to enough shows. Think about it like this. It's January 1st, and this year you said you're going to start your concert photography journey. So the first thing you do is watch my last video where I showed you how to get a media pass, and maybe my other video where I showed you the best gear to use, and then and only then you're ready to begin. So you start and you message some people, but you get ghosted one time, and then you get ghosted another time, and you constantly get ghosted, and it happens about 5 times now, and you give up. And now it's March, a few months later, and someone asks you, how's your concert photography going? But you look back and realize, oh, since I got ghosted so many times, I gave up. And all you can do is wish that you kept pushing, kept reaching out to people, because in 3 months you can go from shooting a nobody artist to an artist that you listen to on a regular basis. You don't lose until you quit, and you need to keep applying, because getting ghosted is always better than not applying at all. So those were the 7 biggest mistakes that I see beginner concert photographers make. I really recommend listening to these. They could cost you a lot of time in making these mistakes, but obviously listen to yourself. It's good to make these mistakes sometimes to learn. So I'm just sharing with you what I've learned. And as always, if this did help, please be sure to like and subscribe, as it's greatly appreciated, and stay tuned for more content just like this. See you guys.